Perception are sharper
The
than the
cringe is
sharpest blade.
strong.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we'll be talking about if March 7th is only really good with Clara. And I know what you're gonna say. Well, yeah, of course she is. She's a shielder that draws aggro away from your opponent. Can cleanse you from any debuffs or any type of effects that happens to you. Has a really good chance to freeze opponent with her ultimate. And March 7th is just a really solid unit to use if you got unlucky. If you didn't get Gepard or any upcoming preservation unit. If you have nothing, March 7th is great. Early game her cleanses can really help you against the Kafka fight and some bosses that you need to cleanse, but is that enough? Because other than the Kafka fight and that centaur fight that gives win share to you, are there other uses to use March 7th? So for today's video, we'll be looking into that. So as always, this will be divided in sections. And with all that said, we can begin right now.
You know how to look good for the camera?
So is March 7th a bad unit? Well, no. March is actually a very good unit. Her shield actually is very strong and much bigger than Fire Trailblazer shield, but with a cost that is only single target shielding and not a team-wide shielding, so that's something to keep in mind. And though the cleanses is helpful against the Kafka fight, you don't really see a use for it that much as you would like. And I'm also noticing that this is taking the same route as what they did to cleanses in Genshin Impact. Because in the early game of Genshin Impact, cleanses were actually a big deal because you needed a way to get rid of the cryo in the first floor 12 of the Abyss. You needed to remove the fire from you or it will burn you to death, as well as the electro that will drain all your energy if you don't get rid of it. Cleanses were a big deal in the early game of Genshin Impact. But I'll be honest, I don't remember the last time they even touched the idea of cleanses in Genshin Impact because I think the last instance of need a cleanse in like floor 11 or 12 was like 2 years ago, I think. Like very early into Genshin lifespan. And what was such a important thing in the other game is now such a obsolete thing unless you do a certain domain. And if they do the same thing in Star Rail where you need it in the early game but then they forget about it or it's very obsolete, that's kind of disappointing because that invalidated a piece of a unit kit. So they had this amazing idea how to remove debuffs and they had never done anything with it in the late game of Genshin Impact. That is kind of disappointing. And could this happen in Honkai Star Rail? Well, that's a big maybe. If they do that, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think that'll be the case, but I wouldn't be shocked either. And that's a big selling point. Maybe not a big selling point for March 7, but it is one of her strengths that she has going for her, that she had a cleanse. And that was the one thing that made her different from her other two preservation partners.
Check out this awesome move.
So at the time of this recording, there's only 3 preservation units in the game. That will be March, Fire Trailblazer, and Gepard. There hasn't been a new preservation unit yet until Fushan comes out, but not until a while now. And from those 3 preservation units, March 7th is the weakest out of all of them, to no one's surprise. But that's not to say she's bad, it's just Fire Trailblazer is a free unit you get that has a full-on taunt instead of increasing aggro. So instead of increasing the chance of getting hit, he just straight up guaranteed to get hit unless it's AoE. And if you manage to get Gepard, unless you have Clara, there's no reason to use March if you have Gepard. Gepard is just a flat out upgrade to March 7. That's flattened, so even though he doesn't have a cleanse, he more than makes up for it for his amazing shielding capabilities that can allow you to have no healer on your team, which is a big deal this early in the game because we only have Natasha and that's it. So basically, until the Watcher comes out or any other abundance healer, your only option is either to get Gepard or buy loot, which is actually that is a big deal because of how limited the roster is for now. We are very limited in the units we have, so it's kind of in an awkward position because the more preservation unit comes out and the more abundance healer comes out, unless you like March, you really will see she declining over time. Well, yeah, but unless you have Clara.
Have an ice day!
So even if you have all these preservation characters, if you have Clara and want to use Clara and want the main Clara, you will always use March 7 because they have a godly synergy together. Because what March 7 does is basically always make it have a much higher chance to Clara to get hit so she can activate her counters. And that's the whole reason why I even build Marching to begin with, because since I have Gepard, if I never pulled Clara, I would have never built my March 7 because she just felt obsolete to me and I had other units to build. But since I have Clara, I built up my March 7 and it's such a powerful duo.
My hearts, watch this awesome move!
Well, my final thoughts on March 7 is that viability can depend on a lot of factors. For one, knowing who you have on your team. If you have Gepard and you don't have Clara, 9 times out of 10 you will replace March 7th. But if you have Clara, you are very advised to build her with Clara because March and Clara are a godly duo. I've been saying this way too much times. I even have a video on that. And obviously if you like March 7th and you like her kit too, you can obviously use her and you will succeed because she is strong, her shield is strong, but for the cleanse, we don't know how viable that's gonna be. We have to find out, but I hope I'm wrong about the cleanse being obsolete in the future. But who knows? We have to find out in the future. But anyways, final thoughts. If you like her, use her. If you have Gepard, you might have some second thoughts. And do whatever the hell you want because it's a whole of this game and these games are never meant to be a challenge, so don't take everything so seriously. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy the video, give me a like and comment. Let me know what I did correct, let me know what I did wrong, and I'll read it. Because I'm not gonna kill you. I might kill you, but who knows. Have a safe day, be safe everybody, and until the next video. This was me talking about if March is viable, and she basically is. Just do whatever the hell you want, I don't fucking care. Goodbye.